Minister Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. Despite a 60% increase in schools funding over the last 2 decades, we have continued to see a decline in school standards. Making sure the education system is well-resourced is vital, but sadly, this is not translating to higher student performance. A focus on student outcomes is vital. We need to make sure children are able to read and write at an early age. This is the best way to combat disadvantage. We need to provide intervention and support when they need it. We need to ensure that all children and teenagers have the opportunity to be their best selves. Under this Albanese government, there's evidence of an acceleration of decline in school standards. According to the OECD's PISA tests, the average 15-year-old today is at least 12 months behind in their learning compared to where they were in the year 2000. In mathematics, the slide is even greater at 14 months, and with each passing year, this gap widens. It is absolutely unacceptable that 20% of students starting Year 7 have the reading ability of a Year 4 student, as the Australian Education Research Organisation found, which I have to say is doing a range of incredible work, a very important initiative of the former coalition government. The budget papers show that the number of Year 3 students in the bottom 2 bands for reading in that plan has increased from 8.6% in 2018 to 11.2% in 2022. For numeracy, the percentage of students in the bottom 2 bands of NAPLAN has gone up from 11.5% to 14.6%. These are big jumps in poor student outcomes. So while the Minister for Education, Mr Clare, talks a big game about lifting standards, what has he actually done? All we hear from this government is that it is running review after review. We do not hear about any action. It is critical right now that we adopt as a nation evidence-based learning, such as explicit instruction and the teaching of phonics in every Australian school. Many schools have stepped up and are doing a remarkable job in this respect. But we know these methods work. The research is beyond dispute, and every Australian student deserves the very best methods of teaching. I do want to congratulate the Tasmanian Liberal government, which has a plan to mandate these methods of explicit instruction. But where are the other states and territories? As I say, parents do not want to hear about any more reviews. Parents have lived through the era of what I call loose learning, inquiry-based learning, which does not work, which has seen Australian students falling further and further behind. This is embarrassing. Parents deserve action, and our students across this nation deserve a better way of learning. So the Minister needs to step up and take responsibility for the state of education in this country. He has had over a year to take responsibility for education, but he continues to shirk his duty. We have seen no plan of action. We have only seen review after review, and this is not good enough. It's not good enough for students, it is not good enough for teachers, for schools and for parents who want to ensure that their children get the very best education. On behalf of the Coalition, I will continue to fight for parents and their children who deserve a quality education comparable with the best countries in the world, which will prepare them for the future, an education which will stand them in good stead when they apply for jobs and enter the workforce, an education which will ensure that we are very much the clever nation. Without a proper grounding in the basics of reading, writing and arithmetic, our children will suffer, our schools will suffer and our economy will suffer. So, as I say, we need action right now from the Minister for Education, from the Albanese government, and I call on the Minister to stop the talk and implement the much-needed urgent action. Thank you.
Senator Shoebridge.